real quick, let's do a quick review of the chapter we're in. We're in section 4.9. What we've been dealing with in this section is we've been dealing with conversions. Yeah, we've been dealing with conversions. So I want to make sure that we get kind of a sense for how these work. So again, like you were saying, we're going with decimals and fractions. These were the two topics we've been talking about. Well, that's what your homework was based on. There's two types. So some of the homeworks, they gave you a decimal, and what you had to do is you had to convert using a certain type of method, which yesterday what we were talking about, the method that we were using was called place value. I don't know if I went through the words with that. Place value is where you look at a decimal and you change it back to a fraction. So one of the homework problems you had were numbers like this. So here's my two examples. I'll do two of these. So let's say one of my examples was 0.005, okay? Like that was my number, right? Well, you count how many numbers are behind the decimal. That's a place value. So how many numbers are back there? 3, right? So there's 3 numbers back there.
Unless you don't count those zeros.
You do count the zeros. So so there's three numbers behind the decimal. So you put 3 zeros on the bottom because technically that spot in place value, because again that's the method we're using, place value, is this spot is the thousandths spot. Thousandths. And that's why I had you count. You count 3. Okay. So that's the place value that you're at. Then what you do is you simplify this. So Sam, type that in, type in 5, little ABC button, type in the 1,000, and then hit equal, and I believe it should give you a simplified fraction.
So
5 over.
that would be 1 over 200.
200. There you go, and that's the fraction I'm looking for. You're changing the decimal to a fraction. Make sense?
Still easy.
Yeah, still easy. All right, give me another one. Any decimal you want. Any length, any numbers.
Okay, 0 point.
0 point.
Can it be 3 numbers?
Sure.
Or
It could be any. It could be 2, it could be 1, it could be 10. I don't really care.
Maybe a little, maybe that's a little too high.
Yeah, so.
I'll go with 3 numbers then.
Okay.
How about let's do 565.
565, okay. So if you have 3, there's 3 numbers back there. So how many zeros do we put on the bottom?
3.
3. 1, 2, 3. And then you simplify that down. So 565, ABC 1000, you simplify it.
That gives you 113 over 200.
Over 200. And that's it, that's the answer. On your homework, you're going to have this. This is what I want to see. I want to see what the original fraction is, so you know what number you put on the bottom, and then what you simplified it, if it simplifies. Okay, makes sense?
I gotta find that page.
Yeah, I think you had 5 of those in the homework, correct? Okay, that was called the place value. There was 5 of them. Okay, I'll give you the
I think
page
you should
numbers.
put it on the board now.
Yeah, I should have. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's a good call. I'll do that here in a minute. Now, the fractions, the second part we were doing yesterday was if I gave you a fraction, could you write it as a decimal? Okay, the method we were doing on this, the lonely method, because there was a couple different methods, and I even said there was a couple methods for the decimals. We were just doing long division. So we're doing long division. That's kind of, I think, is the fastest way to do it, to change a fraction into a decimal. So let's do a couple examples. Let me, I need to read something. I'll leave that up there. Okay. Okay, are we good with these first?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, let's do the second type. So I'll just do 1 or 2 examples. I don't know if we need to do 2. I'll just do 1 here. So let's go with a fraction. Give me any number you'd like, please. Single, double digit, don't go past double. So one number.
Stick with the double and
Yeah, a single number and a double number. It doesn't really matter.
Let's do 10 over.
Something bigger than 10 now.
30.
30. Yeah, I like it. 10 over 30. Okay. What you do is you type in 10 divided by 30 on your calculator. That's what you're actually going to type in. And when you hit equal sign, it should give you this on your screen. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. that's the decimal I'm looking for. Now this one just happens to be repeating over and over and over, so if it repeats, you can write it like this, and that would be the decimal.
Yeah.
But that's what you're doing on the second one. I think you have 5 of those. That should be super easy to get those decimals, okay? All right, I'm gonna give you a little bit of time to work today since, you know, we're kind of low on manpower today, but maybe after a little while we'll talk about what we're going into tomorrow, and we'll just kind of briefly introduce it, and then hopefully Eric will be back tomorrow. But let me write the homework on the board.
Yeah, because now he's gonna need to catch up again.
Yeah, so I don't want to get too far. I don't want to get too far behind. So this is the homework that we had yesterday on the board. And again, just try to wrap it up. Try to get it turned in. Okay, it was page 114, numbers 1 through 5, exercise A. And then page 115, which is basically the next page over. You can see the same problems. You're doing 6 through 10, exercise A. Now, one of these is you're converting from fractions to decimals like I did here. The other one you're doing decimals, you're going back to a fraction. So it should be easy. Let's try to get those wrapped up. There you go. Rest time is yours until maybe the last part of class we'll discuss.